Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Beacon Pines, where today we're going to do some distasteful things, I think. I mean, it's just, if we're just gonna get dragged off and probably killed anyway, although I guess we don't know for sure that that's what happens after that end. I suppose it's worth letting Iggy try to... I really don't feel good about it. Do we want to maybe just go back to a different decision? No, I mean, I want to see what happens. I do not like this. But all right, Luca had no choice but to do the other thing. Luca had no choice except for this choice. This one, the one we're making right now.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. It's hard to... sort of celebratory fireworks over the death of a child, you know, kind of... It's grim. It's a grim moment. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Curious. Ah, but of course. Those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before a perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempest liquamine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold, and the fireworks made the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been. In my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn. You are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder. Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm? Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Okay. I don't want to say that that's definitely a direct shot at Jenny LeClue, but it does. I think it's a shot in a general direction, and Jenny LeClue has just chosen to place itself directly in front of the bullet. Is all. Well, I am really curious what happens here. Maybe Iggy doesn't get coated in goop if tickling occurs. This feels very inappropriate. Do not tickle strangers without consent.
Well, time to bust out the tickles.
Hey Tish, want to see something cool? Yup. Check it.
Beck lunged forward and began to tickle under Tish's arms.
That's a very cute animation. What the? Tish, is she tickling you? Yup. Yup.
Tears began to form in Tish's eyes as she gasped for breath between gales of laughter.
This does seem like a better solution, I guess.
Beck redoubled her efforts until Tish finally had had enough.
What just happened? She seems nice. Sorry for the interruption. I think you were just threatening us.
Iggy's eyes darted around, a realization dawning on his face that he was now outnumbered.
I just remembered. I have somewhere to be. See you around, new kid.
Iggy kicked at the puddle before making his escape.
Oh, hey. That's probably not great. Whoa. What a little creep. Beck, I think you got a little ooze in your hair?
Beck shook the ooze out of her hair as best as she could.
Is it bad? It depends. What are your feelings about having a more mature, refined look? Oh, God. Negative, I guess.
Chapter 4. The Best Policy. Luca paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this mess. Hopefully he could make it up to her. But finding Rolo was his primary concern.
Okay, yeah, that's like a much better outcome all the way around, right? So, none of this stuff is going to be any different. Not allowed to jump over the little stream. I'm assuming I will not be able to go this way. Yeah, okay. You never know. Different narrative branch, etc. Luca, what the hell are you doing out here? And why did a kid with gray hair just run past us in a panic?
Roxy and Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching.
Oh, that's Beck. I don't care who she is. What happened? Well, we were just helping look for Rolo. Luca, I need you to start telling me the truth.
Roxy's temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling, but this was the most intense Luca had ever seen her. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca.
We're running out of time.
In a torrent of rambled words and tears, Luca broke down.
Rolo and I weren't just playing in Weepwood yesterday. We were investigating lights at the old Valentine warehouse. But someone was there in a strange suit. And we hid in the dumpster and had a heavy bag dropped on us. And I think it was a body. And so we ran, but we got split up. And I ran home. And it's all my fault. And now my best friend may never come back. Wow. Just... wow.
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca.
It's not your fault, Luca. It's just, Rolo's gonna be okay, I promise.
Roxy drew herself up.
I'm gonna fix this. Luca, go home. But I want to help. This is too dangerous for a kid. I can't just sit around. I have to do something.
Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luca.
Okay, you go back to that little treehouse you two like to play in. Wait there in case Rolo shows up. Sound like a plan?
Luca wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod.
You did the right thing telling me the truth. Now scoot. You really believe his story? What other option do we have? Things have been strange around here leading up to the festival. My dad has been acting weird lately. Well, weirder than normal.
Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Why is it so cold here? This place gives me the willies. Okay. So, we know that it's not a great idea at this point in the story to be at the treehouse. Hey, Beetle Kid, you got anything new to say? No, I'm not even allowed to talk to you. You're too busy thinking about beetles.
Mr. Nuncreed jumped with a start.
Whoa, don't sneak up on an old fella like that. Sorry. Who were you talking to? What?
Luca motioned to the phone booth.
Oh, no. I was just checking because I thought I heard it ring. The dang thing never does, of course. Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it, really. Whole thing's a waste of money, if you ask me. Any word from Rolo yet? Oh, not yet. Long time for a boy to lose his way. Rolo knows these woods too well to get lost. I suppose you're right. Silly boy's antics have this whole town worried sick. I do not like what the music is doing right now. Antics? We all know Rolo likes to play his little pranks. You think this is a prank? What other possible explanation could there be? He's not playing a prank and he didn't get lost. Someone took him. I know it. And how would you know that? Unless... Luca, is there something else that you know?
Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder.
Dang it, boy, if there is something you know, something that could help your friend, you need to tell folks.
Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed. Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him. There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rolo, maybe he could help.
Do we think that's what shame means in this context? Yesterday, Rolo and I were messing around at the old Valentine warehouse.
Mr. Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
Both of you. You were with Rolo when he went missing. Not exactly. I was hiding in the dumpster. The dumpster? What were you doing in there? At first we were just looking around. And then someone in a strange yellow suit came out and dumped something on us. Well, we both got scared and ran. That was the last I saw of him. You got scared by some garbage? Well, that's why you don't go skulking in someone's dumpster. But it wasn't garbage. I think it was a body. I'm sure it was just some trash. No, there was a name tag. It said Deep Engineering.
Mr. Nuncreed's shoulders slumped.
I wish you wouldn't have said that.
A deep sigh bellowed from his chest.
I know Luca's going through a lot, but at some point during this conversation, or, at any point during this whole thing, he maybe should have noticed that Mr. Nuncreed is approximately the same shape as, Why did you have to... I tried, Luca. God knows I tried to keep you safe.
Luca attempted to take a step back, but Nuncreed's hand clamped down on his shoulder.
But you Van Horns just can't help yourselves, can you? We were all so close to being done with this.
With a firm shove, Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth.
What are you doing? It's out of my hands now.
The door latched shut with a mechanical hiss.
Shit.
As Luca pounded the glass, the floor dropped from under his feet. The inside of the phone booth was now a loose capsule plummeting at gravity's whim. Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitance. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view. Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much. The end. Wait. No. This isn't the end.
Okay, maybe he's not one. I thought the implication there was that he was one of the hazmat people. Because, like, how many people of that body shape are going to be in the town? But I guess he is not one of the... At the very least, there's more than two of them.
I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.
All right, yeah, we still have one branch left where we haven't done all of the things, right? I'm real curious how this is going to be different.
But the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Oh, they took break in exactly the opposite of the way that I was expecting it to work. I guess I have heard people use it in both ways. Like the sky began to break as it began to rain, but the clouds began to break as the clouds separated, like the cloud cover broke. Okay. Sure, you can meet Rolo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rolo I'd tell him about...
Lucas stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promised you'd tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you've got to tell me. Okay. You can come to the treehouse. I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah. I do like Beck quite a lot. Beck might be my favorite character so far.
Lucas saw Beck skulking by the gate.
I like Dawn an awful lot too, even if her voice is way too high for me to do. So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? It's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich reclusive owners. It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me! Oh. What did you do? Well, first of all, I told you so. Second, hide! That's Eris Valentine. Who's that she's talking to? Shh. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned, there's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I was talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Shh. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I wouldn't expect any less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look on that Rube Kerr's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. If there's one thing I've learned, it's the importance of having deeply, deeply compromising conversations just kind of out in the open where anyone could hear. Also, the change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady, but that's just flat out supervillain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
Family.
A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
It's wild that opening the face mask part required all of the hair in the back to... Okay, I don't understand how the suit's constructed. It's fine. Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. I don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night. Chapter 5. What big ears you have.
People in this town have a lot of sayings about change. Have you noticed that?
Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my gran. That was your gran? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. I think this is going to be difficult for them to piece together by themselves. That's the vibe I'm getting. For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course, we're not worried.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
I mean, I'll give him this. That was pretty all right. If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you'll just sign here, acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
There. And would you like my eternal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
Alright, we're just going to give this dude a wide berth. Not because this version of Luca knows anything about the thing, but because I'm afraid he's going to try to use me to hit on my grandma again. And I especially don't want to deal with that now that it turns out grandma might be a supervillain. The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. The question is, the figure intoned, are you prepared to live with the truth? Gosh, she sure is reading thematically relevant books all the time. Hey, Beck, check this shit out. I know she's impressed. Okay, we're not going inside the History Museum, obviously. Is anybody out on the cafe balcony? Nope. Okay, yeah. Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the Perennial Harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd. That's pretty weird for sure. Well, customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. Yeah, can't wait. Am I allowed to go see Dawn, or is this going to get us the dilly-dallying message? Neither, in fact. Dawn's probably out waiting in a bush to jump scare me somewhere.
William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
It's all coming together quite nicely. I couldn't have done it without you.
The mayor gave a half-hearted shrug.
I'm not so sure about that. Nonsense. That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions. Yes, she's been, indisposed of late. She doesn't much like me, does she? Oh no, that's not it at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass my thanks on to her. The History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. And we couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. My father was a great man. You're darn tootin' he was. This is a weird facial expression for that line.
Kerr locked his arm on Gus's shoulder.
But I mean the entire Valentine family. Present company included. Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. Ask away. William, why are you doing all this? Gosh, I've never felt one needed a compelling reason to throw a party. No, not just the festival. All of this. Well, there's got to be 100 down on their luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so interested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds. Yup, little bundles of potential.
With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special. You see potential here. Undoubtedly. The seed of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge. And the right leadership, of course. Oh. Good night, Mayor Valentine. Kerr just fully does not acknowledge us at all. Hey. Interact with me. Pay attention. I am directly in your eye line. Okay. Fine. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from here. So what's your buddy Rolo like? Rolo? He's... Rolo? It's not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the fall harvest. You know, it's about damn time you tell me what this foul harvest thingy is. It's a kinda long story. Well, hit me with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Ooh, big deal fertilizer. Well, it was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. Things were good. And I'm sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died. And something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water, or the air, or the soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. Next year the crops came back, but something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rolo's farm got the short end of the stick. Yeah, for some reason their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. And things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon Pines Reborn initiative? Yep. First thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels, one town over for a week, while they decontaminated the groundwater. Ah. Well, we'd better get going. But first, let me just have a moment with my memories here. Anything new? Yes.
Luca tied a bent nail onto the line. If all you have is a hammer...
It sure doesn't look like there's room for much else on that blanket. We must be getting pretty close. Not that I necessarily think anything will happen when we've caught all the things that can be caught this way. It's a photo of you and Uncle Joseph. Let me see that. Huh. Look at those two young fools. How did it end up at the bottom of the pond? Who can say? Some things are just hard to explain. I miss Uncle Joseph. How come he doesn't come fishing with us anymore? He's busy with his new job at Valentine's. What's a new job got to do with him fishing with us? It's complicated. Like I said, some things are hard to explain. It does feel like that's probably it, right? I guess there could be room for one more below the photograph, maybe? Anyway. Well, it's about time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rolo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control.
Rolo waggled his head with pride.
You'll find we've spared no expense in construction. I've seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey, Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah? While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. Well, ain't that the truth? Oh, he goes all out, doesn't he? Always. Okay, I'm gonna need something to throw. Well, okay, hold on. Damn it, Rolo. Where did you guys get all this junk in the first place? Oh, there's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk. Nice. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Rolo, I feel like literally anybody is going to be able to figure out what to do with a big painted target. Luca, are we sure we can trust this new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So, like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters. I don't think so. It seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. Then it could have been a woman. How did you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let go and I ran. Dang. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rolo let out a low whistle.
And they weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. I mean, in the open, with the gate open, just kind of in front of the whole world, but clandestine for a certain quotation marks. So, let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit, and then you saw your Gran in the same suit talking to Eris Valentine. Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town's kind of awesome.
Rolo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so, we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. And their leader is your Gran, and she tried to murder you. Okay, first of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my Gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. Okay, that doesn't seem like very solid logic to me. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. Your Gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know. We haven't talked much since she moved in. Moved in? Your Gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months ago to take me, a few months back to take care of me after his mom went missing. Did you know your Gran before? Not really, no. It had been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way, but are we sure your Gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I'm just saying. It sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Luca, your Gran is hiding something. And Pa always says folks only bury stuff worth digging up. Also, bones. I guess bones are worth digging. Bones are pretty cool. Anyway, we need to investigate your house. If my Gran really is hiding something, don't you think I would have noticed by now? That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear. We can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in. I mean, she does have that whole mysterious closet full of stuff that we've
Chapter
never
6.
gotten to look in, right?
Secret lair. Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
That's a very cute shirt. What time is it? Aw. I wanted to keep wearing the cute one. That's fine. I'm coming. Rolo, what on earth is that? That ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this? It helps me think. You're gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. Coast is clear? Yep, whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rolo strutted across the room.
If I were a Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rolo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
Aha!
Coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. That's good. You just keep inventing those rules, buddy. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She keeps that fire going every day, Rolo. Ah, drat. It may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there. Okay, can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah. The closet upstairs. Okay, so maybe it stands to reason we should check there first? No dice, it's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. And I have no idea where the key is. Well, if it really is important, she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I'm gonna take this important thing and huck it in a bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway. I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
Yeah, that seems extremely solvable, frankly. All right, Rolo. This is your time to shine. Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with...
Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rolo's back.
Y'all, there are chairs right there. Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. I got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in.
For real, how did that seem like a better idea to them than just standing on a chair?
With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, Let me just yank on this random teacup and...
Pulled on one of the teacups. It slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Wow, I thought we were just going to find the key behind one of the plates or something. It seems like your gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only 2 types of people have secret lairs. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So, which one do we think she is? We're about to find out. Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe? Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. Although it is hard, I'm trying really hard not to jump.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it.
What do you got there? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files? Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rolo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents such as this are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of the preeminent scholar in dense documents and cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Ah, here we are. Follow-up examination of Terrence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rolo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? Well, that's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait,
Rolo's finger traced across the page.
there's more scribbled in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to this report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else.
Rolo scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind, exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rolo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? No, there has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean, enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit!
Luca slammed the drawer shut. A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? Because I'm starting to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreed has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside a big circle. Hey, my moms are both on here. Both with question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Eris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good. Yeah, that's... having a hard time avoiding that conclusion myself. I was trying to see if I could, like, jump kick it. Alright, it looks like there's probably no charm to be gained there. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution explosive. And jam jars? That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your gran making? Yeah, it's a fair question. She wouldn't have had me walk around town delivering bombs, right? Only one way to find out.
Rolo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam. He
Huckleberries,
smacked his lips.
a hint of brown sugar, and ink? What?
Rolo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rolo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Ms. Fratelli. A grand jamgram? We're all just gonna pretend you didn't say that. It says, last night I used the disguise Eris provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Oh, whatever it is, it can't be good. So, more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here. Well, at least he recognizes that they're bad, I guess.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool, this looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rolo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to town, and if we follow it,
Carefully traced the path with his finger.
it leads right to
He jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square. That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rolo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of that path on the map has the same symbol as those explosives over there. So it's not hiding treasure. A real bummer. Rolo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival. Sorry, I took that as stage direction. He said the word gulp out loud. Did you just say gulp? Well, this feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival. Not if we stop her. That's bad. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was that? Or what was what? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights. Yeah, that's gonna solve the problem.
And they became statues in the dark.
But if she goes into the kitchen and notices that the hutch is moved aside, we are definitely fucked.
Overhead, Creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
Hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump.
You. I'm not here to hurt anyone.
Thump.
I'm just here to help. Just
Thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Huh. Guess it's nothing.
Rolo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rolo, don't!
It was too late. Rolo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Rolo, this is a bad move. Flaming chicken coop!
With all his weight, Rolo tackled the man to the ground.
Rolo. Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know if I had it in me. But there was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rolo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbered him good, Rolo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rolo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tolliver.
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver.
Oh, I'm sure this is going to go brilliantly. All right, listen. I'm very curious what this next scene holds, but I am definitely out of time for today. So that's going to be it for us for right now. Thank you all so much for watching. I am really enjoying this. And I did have a legitimate sort of like cold hand of fear grip my stomach when the fake out ending happened. It was pretty obviously a joke from Beacon Pines 2, but I just remembered the Jenny LeClue thing and how very frustrating I found that. I'm so glad. So glad that that's not where we're at here. So when you come back next time, tomorrow, these 12-year-olds are going to hold an interrogation, and I can't see anything good coming of it. Come back next time to find out exactly which way it goes wrong, and we'll see you then.